everyone, and welcome to another Top Agent Commercial Wednesdays. Hope everyone had a great Labor Day weekend. I know many people are bringing their kids back to school. Things are kind of getting back to the normal for a while after this summer vacation. So hopefully everyone had a great time. Just want to share a little bit about what we put together with Renaissance Global. We wanted to really share this with everyone because as I was running EXP and being brought over to set up the commercial real estate, I looked at many different brokerage firms, like many of the leaders here. And as we went through the process, we knew that there were things missing, right? Some were not networked together. Some people, it cost too much to run your brokerage firm. You didn't have enough services. And many people, I would say, in the residential trying to do commercial, you just didn't have a large enough network. So I know when I was building EXP commercial at the time, one thing I said is being publicly traded, check a box, that's great. Being corporate, not franchise, check a box, that's also great. But without the credibility, a lot of leaders in many different product types, specialties, services, you need that. And now we all hear about what's going on now, tech, and AI, right? How do you use that and other things that are going on in this world, and how fast our commercial real estate industry is changing is so important. And by just talking to a lot of the friends that many people, you'll recognize their name. And also when we share the deck, there are so many leaders around the world that have also thought the same way of how do we put this all together? How do we refer these businesses? How do we add consulting to our deck? How do we build our brand in social media, right? These are a lot of the changes that are happening in commercial real estate right now. And there's a lot of, trepidation, fear, excitement, but a lot of people are confused with so much going on. And I know a lot of the old timers, I always say, if you're gray hair, no hair, or dyed hair, right? There's a lot of us here that have watched the change. I would say, some people in the 70s and 80s, to me, starting in the 90s to now in the, 2020s, right? That we're seeing interest rates, technology, all these changes, a lot of global that we wouldn't think about before. But because of all these changes and innovation, and I always say, you got to watch the residential, it's the canary in the coal mine for commercial. And it's always debatable. Are we going to be taken over by AI and automation? Are we not? Right? These are all big discussions, but we do know that change is happening in our industry, and we do need to adapt and be flexible and figure this out. So one of the things when I was building it, I brought many friends. I said, okay, you know what? This is a new brand name, and you're going to see how Renaissance is going to help you. We needed credibility with people that had a name in the industry. We also needed leaders and trade groups and other systems that could help you plug in. And one person that I did reach out right away was Jeff Finn. So I want to introduce Jeff Finn. Jeff, if you don't mind sharing your background of really what you've done. And I think you are not new to this industry. And also, for you being around so long, right? Being in technology, I mean, with RealNext. So if you don't mind sharing your background and everything you've seen as the industry has evolved, I would say, boy, you were born into the industry. So you've been around, at least 60 years, right, with your dad.
I've not been in the business for 60 years, but I've been alive for 60 years. So that's I guess if you say I was born into it, then I did start in there 60 years. So uh, great to be here. Great to be with you, Jim. Great to see the journey that you've taken and be part of this launch and beginning with Renaissance Global and the role that RealNext can play in it. But my background is one of the founders, and my family was the the owners of and the builders of NAI Global, and I was able to take that and run and grow and build it into the dominant, the market leading commercial network of in the industry, and sold that like 15 years ago, just about now, and learned a lot through that process, and been able to look at the landscape today and see some opportunities to enable and support the industry to grow, and glad to be doing that with you at Renaissance. So with NAI, we built a network of brokerage firms into 55 countries around the world, and a couple of key pieces of the growth and success of that was one, technology. We embedded a great technology infrastructure. We needed to build it all at the time because there's nothing that existed in the market that we could just simply license and tap into. And two was the organization. We sort of coined the term the managed network. There are several networks out there and network models out there, but none still have really adopted and been as successful in deploying this concept of a managed network. Uh, and three was globalization. So it really is a three-pronged approach that led to the success and the strategy at NAI. We built the brand, we built the technology, we built the globalization. And and I think the opportunity that we have today and what Jim is doing and the team is doing at Renaissance is to take and present an opportunity to independent agents across the industry that want to be part of something bigger. They want to play on a bigger playing field. They want to organize and coalesce around some bigger strategies and bigger opportunities that they might be able to uh, exploit on their own. But the opportunity to build and grow a team of experts in different specializations and organize them so that they can compete more effectively to win more business and to more efficiently deliver service to their clients, whether it's the investment services group, a retail services team, a logistics group, a corporate services group, all of the different ways that the big players in the industry work, whether it's CBRE or Jones Lang or others, they all organize in that way. But independent agents don't have that opportunity. And what Renaissance is enabling is the way to play on that bigger playing field. And it's one to have the leadership, coaching, mentorship, and organization to build a resume, to build an infrastructure, to build a service delivery system to compete for larger clients, larger opportunities, to instill a common sense of teamwork and collaboration. It's to implement a technology capability that enables coordination, communication, and systematic approach to business development and business execution. And three, which is I think a really exciting area, is a layer of additional services that uh, you might have fragmented access to, but not efficient access to and prioritized access to really have services that become part of your team. So if you need help with property management, asset management, project management, auction services, capital market services, corporate services, global services, whatever it might be, it's all enabled and all at your fingertips. So building this team and framework where there's an efficient way to provide more services for your clients, to provide additional services and capabilities that put you on a higher level playing field, and to provide new ways to make money by having a broader array of capabilities around you is the exciting opportunity that I think is presented by this new team, and really excited to be a part of it, Jim.
And Jeff, thank you. Because, one thing that we've all known is everyone is sometimes wearing the jersey. We love sometimes the company or the broker or whatever it is, but there's always a piece missing, whether it's we're known as just maybe multifamily, what else are we? But we know sometimes our clients go into retail, they go to leasing, they go to business brokerage, they do something else. And now our times with interest rates being so high, a lot of people are not transacting, but they still need consulting. They still need advice. They still need how do you run your property more efficiently and effectively, trying to reduce taxes, trying to look, as everyone knows, for the property casualty, looking at sometimes you need to do cost seg. Sometimes you got to refinance your capital. You got to rebuild your capital stack. There's so many parts that no one person or one group or one company, right, at the right price can do this. And that's what we hope with Renaissance and everyone else working, because what we're doing is bringing, I would say, Jeff, like with you and your friends, a bunch of friends, right, that have been in this industry for decades. And it's not just tech, right? But the people here have the relationships, the contacts. And we want to make sure that a lot of times within commercial, it's non-RESPA. There are ways to share commissions and fees, right? And there's other ways to get paid. So a lot of people have to understand that right now, while it's more challenging ever since COVID, interest rates, and now with tariffs, you've got to find other ways of making income, and you've got to collaborate a lot more with other individuals, not just domestic, but globally, to make these pieces happen. And the great thing is it's really a fractional team that you're putting together, sharing and knowing each individuals and groups and companies, that everyone just puts the puzzle piece together, because you're going to win a deal that you want to get priced in, but you just don't have the network. Well, here at Renaissance and this team, and as it constantly grows and evolves, and we'll share a little more, you now can plug in your individual, your company, your boutique operations, even some enterprise larger groups. Jeff, I was telling you, there were some larger groups because of friendships and me serving so much with ARIA and NAR and CAR and all these residential organizations, that many of them always wanted to do commercial. And I said, look, it's going to cost you a lot of money to set up a commercial operation, and there's liability if you do not know what you're doing. But many of them want to set this up because they have so much referrals, opportunities, and leads. There's at least 5 international domestic companies that have reached out that we're discussing, and more will come, right, as we show success. But I want to give Ellen Hsu a chance first, and Scott, I'll get you in to share the website and everything. But Ellen, when we were talking, and this is when I was running another franchise company, about how it grows, and you've been, if you don't mind sharing your background, how long you've been in the industry. And yes, Ellen is in Canada, Vancouver, our next door neighbor. So, thinking globally, thinking internationally is very important. And Ellen, maybe you can share all the things about you and the background. And also, you were just talking with the CCIM convention that we hope big things to share too. Ellen?
Thank you, Jim. My name is Ellen Hsu. I'm very honored to be here and to be discussing about Renaissance Global and also about some of the event that's coming up. I've been in the commercial real estate industry for over 15 years. My past experience has been with Ernst & Young in the merger acquisition group, and at Walmart help with site selections, and also, of course, running eXp Realty Canada as the VP of operation. And currently right now, I own my own boutique brokerage and also property manager, asset management company. And also on the side, I also do investments on various different type of technology companies and also real estate development deals. So in terms of what's happening with, I'm also part of the CCIM Institute and CCIM Foundation. I'm a director there. And there's a huge event that's coming up, which is the Fall Forum for the CCIM. It's going to be on October 5th to the 9th. I will put the link of the event in the chat group later. And please do look into registering, or if you're going to be in Vancouver, please register there. Also, we're going to host a networking breakfast and a launch for Renaissance Global in Vancouver. So it's going to be the first in-person event for Renaissance Global, where all the partners and all the people who are part of the Renaissance Global will be there, and we're going to be celebrating the launch and meeting in person. So the networking breakfast will be on October 5th. I will also leave my email address in the chat. So if you're interested in participating, please reach out to me directly. I'll send you the invitation link. So this is going to be an exclusive invite for people who's going to be joining us to launch this great event that's coming up in Vancouver. Thank you.
Ellen, and if you don't mind, because I know you served in so many positions at CCM, but also many other trade groups. And that's an exciting thing, that because of the text, and many of us have served and volunteered and have been part of, I would say, every single commercial trade group in the world. And that's why these relationships play. And as people see the Renaissance Group keep evolving and growing from, like Jeff, who owned NAI Global, not just served, but owned it. And other people you've known that were all past presidents of trade groups, leaders all around the world. And this is the thing, playing nice, working together, collaborating, using technology to share, to make it more efficient about how we can do more deals, right? Consult more, past projects. I mean, that's what we're excited. But I mean, Ellen, I remember when you were leading at CCIM, the international event, but can you share a little more about, what you've done globally and international, plus also running now Global Chamber with 100,000 members that we're plugging in, and maybe share a little bit about them, that is a strategic partner of Renaissance.
Yes, of course. Thank you. So my past experience, I've been very fortunate to be part of various different organizations. So, as Jim had mentioned, I was part of International Presidential Liaison for CSAM Institute, which is headquartered in Chicago. And during that time, I actually traveled throughout different countries in Asia and to do presentations and also on various different topics in terms of connection, investment opportunity in various different countries. And of course, currently right now, I'm also the director for Real Estate Institute of BC. And also, I'm also part of the Rotary Club of Vancouver Fraserview, and also the leader for the Western Canada for Real Estate Institute of Canada. So basically, through the various different connection and also through the various different positions, I was able to know a lot of different people. And of course, Jim mentioned the Global Chamber. So Global Chamber right now, we're hosting seminars every Wednesday. So I will share the Global Chamber link later for everybody to register. So we do talk about various different opportunities globally in terms of what's happening, where are the investment opportunities that will be happening around the world. So many of the leaders in the trade group, and also not only that, they also have government agencies and also a lot of the economic development advisors who do come to our seminars to discuss about various different trends, opportunities that's happening around the real estate industry and also what's happening around the world. And so that's the reason why it's important to be part of all these different organizations and to understand what's happening in the trend. So just recently, Jim and I were actually down in Orange County, and there was a AI mobility group that we were participating in. So we were allowed to see a lot of what's happening in the AI industry, how that's relating to the real estate, and how the big data is actually playing in terms of what's going to be changing in the real estate industry. So that's one of the things that we're focusing on and see how we can help with the software like development for that. And this is where Renaissance Global is a great platform where everybody can join and also use the software technology platform that's available for the partnership, so everybody can benefit from that. Thanks.
Thank you, Ellen. And that's the thing where this is really a hub of individuals, organizations, boutiques, larger companies that they may be missing something. So many people here have been friends with everyone. The relationships are very strong with everyone globally. So, and the big thing we always say at Global Chamber is having the trust and integrity, knowing who is on the other side of the phone. So when we're doing projects and deals, literally anywhere in the world now, we can connect. There is a person that we can contact and do business with. And there's some major projects and everything saying, I mean, just with Daniel Chang, who's part of the Renaissance Group, I mean, he's already working on 1 million square feet. He brought 200 companies to the Carolinas. He has even more coming. So everyone that has these virtual events that we'll have Scott Cook share a lot more, who's our COO. And later on, with all these different events that we plug into with different people and groups and teams like a CCIM, but many other organizations are plugging in so we can help them pass leads, deals, referrals. And like Global Chamber, what they're good at is with economic development. So we're starting to get research information. And there's a lot of tech. And I see Matt Bonds, we use eMedia too. And maybe I'll have Matt, if there's time, to share a little bit about that, because the tech is really important about how we can get more eyeballs on the marketing, how we can share more referrals and leads, plus building this intake sheet. So if you say I'm doing a certain product type or information, we're going to be putting together, but I'll let Scott share a little bit about the website and everything else. And this is just a phase one, because many of you and people that have helped us, we're going to be putting together agreements with everyone, so everyone understands that you can be part of the next phase as we build out the website. But we just wanted to share more. But Scott, if you don't mind kind of sharing a little and talking about, this very, very hard work in progress.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, everyone. I don't see a way to just share the screen part, so you'll get to see all of my AI headers there. But hello, everyone. Good to see you. As they've already told you a lot about Renaissance. I have the honor of getting to work with Jim and Jeff and Ellen and the whole team. So appreciate just a couple minutes to run you through the brand new website. This is, in fact, it's officially launched just this morning. So this is as fresh as it gets. So I'll just walk you through a few of the pages. And then, obviously, Jim, Jeff, Ellen, if you want to jump into any parts, just go ahead and expand on that. So, a little bit about us, and you've already heard, from the leaders as far as what Renaissance is and what our goals are and what we're here to help accomplish and help others accomplish. So, we've got the leadership team, we've got this advisory board, which, Jim, you already talked a lot about. I mean, the names and the reputations here are just unbelievable. So the world-class team that's been put together, you can read about all of them, the bios, the links, all of those are there. And in case you don't have it, we'll put it into chat, but renaissanceglobalnetwork.com is where you'll find this live as of this morning. So it's fantastic. Then another section we have are our strategic partners. And you can go in here, you can click on them, obviously, go to the different partners. We'd love for you to work with all of them. They've all been vetted, and we all know them personally. So I think you can feel confident when you're working with any of these groups through the list, and we're going to continue to add to these as well. So you'll continue to see more and more partnerships come online. This list will grow and just work with the partners, and we're proud to have all of them with us as well. Tools, again, RealNext, ReSAS, all of these partners again that we work with, Exceed on the education, eMedia, which I think you're going to have Matt talk a little bit about. All of these tools and resources. Again, this will continue to expand, just like the education and training will continue to expand. We'll get into the mentorship. All of these tools and resources will continue to grow. But for right now, this is what we've got, and you just keep checking back because that'll continue to be added too. On the calendar side, we're still filling these in. We've got more education training that are going to get filled in. You can see all the different committees that we have, the different groups, the ones that are meeting, and as we have our members have their own events, we'll continue to add those to them as well. So check this calendar. You'll get it through the website or bookmark the calendar itself. And as we continue to add, like I said, the education training, different groups like Ellen is putting together, different meetings that we're having, get-togethers, networking, all that good stuff. And then, of course, maybe not the most important page, but an important page, join us, become a member with us. And it doesn't take you very long. You're just going to fill out the form, tell us a little bit about you, where you found us, so we can keep up with you, how you want to be contacted, the usual stuff. But become a member so that you can be a part of this. As we continue to evolve, some of these benefits of being a member are going to be behind a membership wall, just like any organization, so we can control the content and the people that are there. And we have a better way of outreaching to everyone in the community as well. So I'd say that's a quick run through of the website, Jim, and we'll continue to add to it as we go, both on the partners and the tools and resources. And of course, the calendar is just getting filled in now, and more will continue to come to it.
Thanks, Scott. And one of the big things is it is free. There's a lot of free ones. There are going to be the membership parts because there are tools and tech that we have discounts. We are constantly working on different ones. One, like if in the new remote working world with Upflex, so you can work virtually now in different regions, parts of the world, to plug in. I mean, there is going to be a lot of different solutions that we're going to offer. Plus, when you are part of the membership, even with the free one, there's going to be different services that you're going to, I always say, better than the rack rate, or at least par. That so many different services that you can use, you can make, as long as you don't need a broker dealer license or some other license, that we can legitimately pay you, or we pay the broker of records if you're in a brokerage firm commission. There is going to be a lot of pieces that we're going to add to it, that from all the different services that we put together, people can make this is important money. But the other sort of part is if you invite people to the Renaissance, we will recognize that you invited them. So if there is ever revenue or opportunities to be passed to you, we want to make sure it gets passed to you. And we constantly are just building this collaborative network organization team. So not only do we help mentor each other, help each other find jobs and opportunities, create these referral chains, work with the best service providers, and we don't give exclusives. So if you ever find a better one that we can plug into our system, that's what we want. So we can basically make sure everyone gets paid, everyone collaborates, cooperates. So it's this system that I think, Jeff, you've been around a long time, and I think many others that have volunteered and served. Has there been anything like this big? I mean, everyone has different groups, but nothing this big. And I think no one's run as much tech as we have too in this group. If you don't mind sharing a little from what you see and kind of your vision, because I know this was your brainchild, and even the Renaissance name you brought a long, long time ago. But now we're finally rolling this out.
No, I think it is quite a unique model. And Jim, as you know, there's some of the things that we talked about while you were at EXP and thought it could be good for EXP. But as you left EXP, you said, you know what? This could be good for anyone in the industry and everyone in the industry. So to think about the type of platform that this can bring together and enable a level of collaboration and coordination and business that some people get from their local chapters. They might be part of a local board of realtors or local CCIM, or you might be part of national CCIM or SIOR. So there are groups, but those are pretty limited. I mean, they are pretty exclusive, and this is something that is empowering and opening up an opportunity for a much larger playing field of people to tap into and to become part of an organization that has additional resources and tools that help them compete and help them be the best that they can be, and to find opportunities and to deliver a higher level of service by just learning. And so if you're new, there's opportunities for people that are new to the industry to become part of a group and have the leadership and support. And there's opportunities for people that are more senior to have leverage from others that can provide opportunities that you might be able to help out with. So I think that there are the types of things that we're doing. You think you would typically only find in big global firms. Now the boutique firm or someone who's part of a franchise or even part of a regional firm would want to and find value in, because they don't have all of the resources that Renaissance is going to bring to the table.
Jeff, and that's what I love, like with all of us, different firm, different product type, different specialty, everything is being brought together with people we've known and trust in the industry, a lot of leaders. So I always say no one's going to ruin their reputations over decades for a couple of bucks, right? Because everyone lives on it. And that's what commercial real estate really is about. Everyone knows everybody else, especially if you put enough people that have served the industry, led the industry, volunteered, and still try to give back, because we also try to give back to the young professionals, so the 20-year-olds. So we always say, if you have kids or grandkids, we want to beat them up for you, right? So if you have a company or a brokerage or a business, we all know you never want to take care of the kids or grandkids yourself, or it's going to be terrible. So what you do is you give them to your friends to beat them up a bit, to go, oh my gosh, when I take over the company, because many people in commercial, especially if you survived long enough, you own a bunch of property. You own a development company, a contracting, construction, technology, syndication. You own something. And you want to make sure when you pass it down that they are not entitled, or they're going to ruin what you take decades to build. So that's the great thing too, is we also want to play it forward, teaching from brokerage to technology to different product type. And I'll give you a chance, Scott, because I know you're not in
Just want to add one
transaction.
more thing, Jim, to
Sure.
what you were saying, and then what I was part of what I didn't get to say or yet was one of the things that RealNext is bringing to the table is a technology infrastructure that and Ellen brought it up early and talked about data. there's so much information. If you think of everyone on this call and the many that aren't on the call, have so much information in their head and so many opportunities that are missed because they're not communicating. And you can't always have the opportunity to get on a call and put out all the information that you have of all the opportunities that, Max might have a match for, or Fred might have a match for, or Steve might have a match for. And by organizing information and using AI to tap into it and bring it together, we're going to help facilitate connections and bring about not just when I know I need Jim's help, but it's going to prompt me to say, you know what, Jim's working on something that is a match for something that you're working on. And by putting together information, by having a platform that can be private as it needs to be, but shared as you'd want it to be, can drive better intelligence, better information, and again, a more efficient market. And really, that's what it's at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, trying to create more efficiency in a pretty opaque market, more transparency, more efficiency, and an openness to enable more transactions, more business, and more money to flow your direction.
Yeah, Jeff is right, actually, because what we're seeing right now is when in a lot of the other countries, such as Middle East, they are using blockchain as their backbone, as their platform to create digital deed and assets. So these are the trends that we're seeing right now. Why are they doing that? It's because they're organizing their data so everything is in one place. So the government is set up in one place, and also in the future, we're actually going to see a lot of the financial institutions going to start adopting to this, and that's why we're seeing a huge increase in the cryptocurrency market, because people are seeing that that's where the future is, because a lot of the people are looking into using these to back up like real world assets. So there's a lot of opportunities out there that we are not seeing in the past. I think it's a digital revolution that we're seeing right now in all around the world. So organizing the data is really the key. And I think Jeff, like RealNext, offers such a great opportunity for people to actually match make all these different opportunities. And of course, Renaissance Global also offers a lot of corporate services where also connect people with various different countries and also different services that's available. For example, in India, there's a lot of global capability center that's opening up for a lot of major industry. So if people are interested in learning more about that, of course, Renaissance Global can connect you to that and find you the site and set you up for those centers. So that's why I think the opportunity is endless right now. We're going through a revolution right now. So that's why to be part of a global network and to be able to get access to all these multinational companies, that is something that's really hard for a lot of mid-size companies, regional companies around the world. So that's why I think it's important to join the group. Thank you.
Thanks, Ellen. And since you brought up like tokenization, stable coins, I mean, a lot of us that are in tech and played crypto and all these other things, it is important. And we are cutting edge because a lot of times are in real time. We don't always wait for a convention. It's great to see, right? We were talking about meeting people in person, but having these meetings of talking about all these topics of AI, of stable coins, of what everyone's working on, logistics, robotics. I mean, these are the things we're seeing all the time. And not everyone can go to conferences, but what we do for those that can go, and we came back from Dubai and many other international travels, is bringing back information, but also the contacts and friends and relationship. I know you have somebody really big flying in from UAE, right, speaking at CCIM. But I want to say Matt Bonds, because Matt, I want to bring you up to talk about eMedia because you're one of our part of our tech stack. If you don't mind sharing a little bit about eMedia and why this is important, because one thing globally we always talk about is the US market and the China market. And regardless, everyone's going to deal with those markets. And internationally, most people want to play nice with both US and China. Because when I was traveling around the world, Dubai, everyone, they don't really care. They just want to work with everyone because these are the two largest markets in the US, in addition to many others. But Matt, do you mind sharing a little your background in eMedia, because we are using the technology also to really tap into what, 1 million eyeballs?
At least, yeah. Thank you for the time here. Yeah, eMedia Link. So, a quick background on myself. I'm based in Seattle. Worked for the largest real estate company brokerage in all of China for 6 years, running their U.S. operation. And so because of that, we formed eMedia Links. A lot of relationships came through China so we started eMedia Links and partnered with company called Sina and some social media companies in China. I'm targeted to get over 1 million eyeballs per month right now in China. Our platform is hosted there. We also partner with real estate portals around the world, and we're actually adding some in Dubai. We're talking to some in India and in London as well. And so it's a great ecosystem online to present commercial, residential properties. Actually heading to China the next month. Again, we're going to partner with Jim, Ellen, Miss Lee texted me again last night with Beike, and Beike is the largest real estate company and portal in Asia, and so they want to figure out a way to collaborate with us as well. So we're trying to kind of funnel everything to one spot. So it's a great chance for us to promote online, offline on our platform. We're in about 21 countries. An EXP context, Glenn Sanford approved. I think we have 14 of their countries. All their agents and listings are on our platform right now overseas, so it's growing there. And again, because of this, we have a great ecosystem, a great network, online and offline. So if you want to present to mainland China audience, our portal partners from Southeast Asia to Europe and beyond, it's just a great platform, and it's free. So free for anybody here on the call or part of Renaissance to promote online, offline. When I go back to China, we'll be doing some more hyper-focused type of events where we'll do kind of live streaming, things like that. So there'll be a lot of good things to come in the future for sure. But lots of eyeballs in China. We started eMedia Link Shanghai, which will give us access to social media accounts in China, the top 4, WeChat, Little Red Book, Chinese TikTok. So we'll be launching those in a month, which give us even more access. But we leverage the big brands from Sina Weibo to Beike and our global partners. So it's really growing. I mean, a lot of eyeballs and a lot of credibility because of the brands and our partnerships. So
Matt, thank you so much. And that's the thing where we're collaborating, we're talking, we're obviously building friendships, relationships, seeing what could be the best fit, for services, so we can send referrals, marketing, education. I mean, you name it, that's what we're putting together. And I think that's where, Jeff, with all the relationship friends and people are going to see more old school. I don't want to say old school, but experience, been around a very long time in this business.
That's a better way to position it.
Right. And it really is fantastic. And not just in transaction or leasing or business brokerage, but almost everything and anything you think of. I mean, it's really here. And I'll give you Scott, because I know, Scott, you always do asset property management, and that's a core thing. I know it's the not sexy part, but everyone, right, once you get bigger, you need to do asset and property management. So maybe share a little and ask for whatever needs and helps you need for with one of the relationships we have with PM referrals, if you don't mind sharing that, as each group that is plugging in with different service, obviously being vetted to plug into this massive network. But if you don't mind sharing that not sexy, but very important.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that the real estate asset management, property management profession has certainly lifted itself up. I know long ago it was kind of the thing some people had to do while the sales were slow. But it's through IREM and a lot of organizations, it is such a professional career, and obviously so needed by the owners to be able to improve their assets and stabilize their assets and get them ready for sale and continue the investment growth. And so having a great property manager, asset manager on your team is just essential for any kind of real estate investor and property. So really happy to be a part of that industry. I've got my CPM, certified property manager, been part of an AMO organization, own my own company, and now I'm part of and partners in the pmreferralpartners.com website, and that's one of the partners proudly through the Renaissance Network. And what we do is we're a referral service funnel for owners and agents that want to find quality property management companies for their clients and their own properties, both in America. And then also Ellen is helping us. She's leading up Canada for that. And so anytime we can be of assistance and help people find quality property management asset managers, boots on the ground in the major cities, we are here to help. And Matt, we're always looking to expand. So think about property management and how we can work together there, because it's all about, like we've talked about on everything with Renaissance, about making those connections and helping one another and being positive and helping each other grow, right? Lifting everybody up. So the more we can help, send referrals out and help other companies and property owners all over the place in all the different areas that Renaissance Global is growing, in the UK and Mexico, and there's a whole list that are coming online. So we want to be able to be a solution for that. It's not always about profit. It's about helping one another, and through doing good deeds and helping one another, everything else just flows naturally, right? And so that's really a lot of what it is really making that connection and helping. So I'll put the link in the chat, and then just let us know. And if you are a property management company or know of a property management company in any of the big cities, reach out to me and let us know. And we do vet through, like we always do through Renaissance. We want to work with quality partners, but always looking to make those good connections and growth and help one another. So I appreciate the chance to talk about that a little bit, and I'll put that info in chat.
Yeah, and we're excited with Jeff, with Recess and RealNext, that partnership, because with 800,000 residential people in the Recess database and RealNext with over 300,000. And this is where we all say, as this is all great, right? Education, but everyone wants to make money, do business. And we are working now with Recess and RealNext, part of the Renaissance Tech, to connect. And it goes both ways. So let's say you're a residential agent, because we do have a lot of, as you were seeing, site location, development, new sales. I mean, right now we're working on projects in Mexico, Colombia. I mean, you name it. It is so many projects and mixed use and housing, condo, multifamily in the thousands, right? Or in some of these projects in the hundreds of millions of dollars that were in discussions, that these are for the, say, residential. Why don't you want to compete to win some of these new sales contracts or anything else? So it doesn't just go from residential to commercial, but from all of the stuff, and using, maybe sharing, Jeff, some of the RealNext capabilities, because that is going to be used as an intake so we can start figuring it out, right? Because you do have a CRM to a packaging underwriting system to so many others. But Jeff, do you want to share the broad reach of what RealNext is, from kind of the start, the cradle to grave, soup to nuts of what RealNext can do and how it can help your business? Because we are going to use it to plug it in globally for everyone.
And that, I think that's an important discussion. RealNext is, some of you already have it, but the RealNext implementation for Renaissance will be at a global level where we can share, and again, you can share and collaborate, but you can keep it private when you need to. So it is information that you have that's proprietary, but opening up through a gateway to have everyone, when you need to collaborate or you're working on a team, to be able to work with a team and to be able to share information very efficiently. So RealNext really is at a foundation, is a tool to find, win, and close business. It starts with a CRM, which is specifically built for commercial real estate, property centric, where it helps you to evaluate all of the information about your market and your inventory. You could ingest information from any of a third party sources. We can provide data if you'd like, and we're working to actually get all of the data of every property in the country in our installation. So we have a contract with First American for all the assessor level information. So we'll begin to populate a baseline of information about the building, the land, the ownership, the assessed values, the last 2 or 3 transactions on that property. So a massive comp database of properties, and who the owners are, who's buying, who's selling, and predictive analytics to understand what you might want to pursue from a trade standpoint. But it gets better because the more you add to it, the smarter it becomes. And you can, instead of just having the same commodity information that the market has, whether from CoStar or Reonomy or from any third-party source, putting your own information, what you know about a property and the tenancy and the history of the ownership there can differentiate you. From that, you can do your prospecting, business development, email marketing campaigns, call campaigns and uh, all of the follow-up management and timelines that you need to efficiently run your business. But then when you're able to take a property to market, it has the underwriting piece. So taking a property, packaging it, doing the financial analysis, doing comparative lease analysis, putting the books together, whether a simple flyer, brochure, or full offering memo, running a process through a private and secure virtual deal room to invite prospects in and manage a sales process through the life cycle. Or if you're on the tenant rep side, to have an app for your clients to do your tenant rep service and have a tour book enabled or a portal that they can come into and begin to rate and evaluate spaces and negotiate deal terms and run through that process. And then a global marketplace, which has all of your listings and your availabilities that get promoted out to that 300,000 person community that Jim talked about. Put it on your website if you'd like to, or keep things off market and run private processes. So really that soup to nuts from prospecting and business development to underwriting and marketing, presentation, and running the sale process. We're now beginning to put a lot of additional AI tools into the system for being able to basically put in a property address and having recommendations on here's how you'd want to go to market. Here are the most likely buyers, the most likely target markets for that property, and enhanced AI marketing strategies for that will be coming into the system very quickly. We also have visualization tools. So often properties don't show well today, or there are development sites that might be envisioned, but they're not there yet. So we do the virtual reality. We do video plans and models. So aerial videos with virtual tours of properties, or simply a virtual model where you can look at properties in different ways to think about what would this building be if it's going to be reimagined as a condo, or it's going to be a medical office versus a high-tech office. So you can look at and envision properties in different ways through manipulation of the technology, and very quickly prototype a property and be able to showcase it and make it an immersive tour that really vastly accelerates the sales cycle. It can be used for planning and approval, capital raising, as well as pre-sale and pre-leasing of space. A pretty exciting suite of tools that we have, and really anxious to get everybody on board.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff, and all of everyone, because all of us did the brokerage business, ran companies and businesses, now into the tech and how the tech integrates, because I know everyone wants to always be vertically integrated, but not everyone has everything. But with Renaissance and the relationships we have, we can plug into so many other tech companies, because most of the founders, CEOs, executives, owners are friends of ours, right? Everyone's been around with each other for so long. Trade groups, everyone knows each other. And as long as we show everyone the value, how you can help anyone from the agent level, to a boutique or a franchise level, to some enterprise levels. And we just all work with each other because everyone has worked and did deals and, partners, and many people are still partners with each other on many projects. And this is how it all came together of how do we work with each other? How does how can we make some more money together, create prosperity, play it forward for the next generation, and stay in the game. As I told many people, we just need to stay in this game, or at least build enough passive income residuals so you can pivot, adjust as technology, AI is moving so quickly. Also with Renaissance, what we hope too is creating investment funds to get better than alpha, get a better rate of return, whether it's lending money, whether it's putting it into certain real estate distressed debt, because this group hears and sees so many different things, and it's just anyone's risk tolerant that you have to figure out what you want to do. But collaborating with this massive group, and we always say we don't let everyone in, right? There are some things that we do have our Friday meetings that we will allow, but if anyone's disruptive and not a team player and working well together, we don't mind competition or working hard, right? We all competed for listings and deals, and we sometimes won, sometimes lost, right? But as long as everyone works together in good nature, in good fashion, in good spirit of collaboration, this is what we're trying to do as this group, and then really bringing the cost down So it's not always a 50-50 or 50-50 and 50-50 back in the day, right, Jeff? Many people, I can't say just for me, everyone, right? The splits were so crazy, but now with the technology, there's more to share, right? So sometimes those ways of doing business is not useful or applicable anymore. That there could be collaboration, and sometimes we say whatever jersey you wear, that's just what you split with the house. But now here, you can split however you want, but the ways we can connect with individuals, with organizations, technology, and deals, there's going to be a lot of opportunities. And the greatest thing is if you ever get people to join or show up and they let's say do some deals with our capital markets or property management, I don't want to start sending $10-20 to people, right? We may have to have a minimum amount that we want to send, but I do want to price everyone in, working together with the people we like to work with, and many of us understand what that means, right? You'd rather work with a friend, maybe get a little less, but at least the deal will close. You're not going to go through any brain damage. And this is what we're building as a global basis. So it is really exciting. Scott, if you don't mind sharing, to join, to show up, there's always that free version, different services you can use, make some referral fees. And as each tier goes higher, you will see whether it's not always paying, but in getting yourself involved, volunteering is what we like people to do, and adding value. So it doesn't always mean you have to pay, but as long as you add value to the organization, and then whoever you introduce, right? We just want to build a larger community around the world. And as you can see, there's going to be many, many groups, organizations, companies joining because they all want this in commercial real estate, a larger network with technology, from education to referrals to services, and just good people you can work with around the world. But Jeff, Ellen, Matt, Scott, any final words before we close out today about Renaissance and maybe the ask from anyone?
Maybe if there's any questions before we wrap up. I don't know if you can chat or open up if you raise your hand. And
Fred, do you have a question?
just have
No,
to.
I'm just glad I jumped on. I saw it pop up. As always, James, you're always doing there something exciting.
Thank you, Fred. And please join us, because that's the thing. We want to work with people. We want to send referrals, because that's the worst. When you have a referral, and this is the thing, there's nowhere to send it, right? And we want to have this group, whether it's CCIM, SIOR, CRE, FIOPSI, NAR commercial. I mean, there's so many people that we can send business to. And this is why we want to build this ecosystem and then there's going to be a rating system. We want to make sure, and a commission price, because some people want to take more. And there's a lot of on-market, off-market deals. And most commercial deals are off-market. You're not going to see it. So we want to share and collect and connect that by agreements, people will sign it so they can work a deal. But Fred, thank you for joining us. And please show up on our Friday events and sign up, because we definitely want to pass people referrals and businesses. Any other questions, as Jeff wanted to open it up?
Jim, while you're
But
waiting
Ellen,
to see if there's any questions, I'll repost the link for the membership, so anybody can join us. And so I'll just pitch once more. There's the link for everybody to sign up for the membership and join us, and go to the website for the calendar and all the good stuff we're doing.
thank you. And this is the one thing, is it's our community. We work together. We will police ourselves to make sure, in this network, this group is just the people that want to collaborate, want to share information, knowledge, what's coming up, cutting edge ideas, concepts. And as everyone sees, as we grow, there's going to be the general Friday meetings. This is also a meeting with Top Agent Nation Commercial Wednesdays. We're going to get more of this group and whatever the cutting edge for speakers, Speakers Bureau, panels. We're going to put it all together. And there's so many other podcasts and groups that we're in, that by being part of the group, we can put you on different speaking panels, live or virtual, get you on different, let's say, billable hours or consulting agreements, right? Depending on your skill set. Too, sometimes as there's so many startups, and that's the exciting thing too, to be an advisory board member, maybe some investments that you think this could be pretty cool to invest in. But you're going to see, as people are pitching pre-Series A concepts, ideas, really interesting things coming here to just really increase your knowledge, education, your network, and investment opportunities or referrals or some opportunities to create wealth. So you really can play it forward, give it back, volunteer, do something else with your time. So we are really excited to launch this Renaissance group. Thank you, Jeff, and many others, and Ellen, Scott, Matt, Max, everyone here, because everyone's been showing up. It is very important because it is a community. It's all of us together. And the way Renaissance is going to grow is up to all of us, because we do know we're not going to silo the commercial real estate industry. We're going to open it up and share. And we're not going to block people out, but we want everyone to work well with each other together. So again, it's great to be back. And thank you everyone for joining us. Please join us every Fridays for our Renaissance event. Sign up so you can sign up to the calendar, and you'll see constant different benefits that you can get. And we hope just invite your friends and let's grow this community together. So everyone, thank you again. See everyone next Friday at Top Agent Commercial Wednesdays.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone.